Hi, I'm Sandy Rose.
Hi, I'm Pastor William James, and we're the owners of WVTC Gospel Radio Network.
And I'm Ramon Perry, president of WVTC.
WVTC Gospel Radio Network is again a candidate for the Stellar Gospel Music Awards for Internet Radio Station of the Year, and we need your vote.
Go to www.thestellarawards.com and click on the 2023 Radio Station Awards ballot.
Once you're on the ballot, look for the category Internet Radio Station of the Year and cast your vote for WVTC Gospel Radio Network.
Voting is limited to 2 per household, and voting closes on April 10th. We thank you for voting for WVTC Gospel Radio Network, and we ask that God's choicest blessings be upon you and your household.
Remember, we're WVTC Gospel Radio Network, where
we're winning victory
through Christ.
WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner, Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Come on and tell somebody. I am so glad to see all of you here. It's Monday afternoon, so it must be the Community Bell Show. It's 4 o'clock. Welcome to the Community Bell Show this wonderful Monday, the last Monday in March. March has been a great month. I got to tell you that almost all of my family is born in March. Once we finish March, everybody's birthday is practically over, except for the grandkids, of course. But all of us were pretty much born in Sonia in January, Alicia in February, everybody else in March. So March is a great month for us. But again, welcome to the Community Bell Show. It's 4 o'clock on Monday. We're so glad to have you with us. Um, this is the last Monday in Women's History Month. And we've had an exceptionally wonderful Women's History Month. We've been able to honor a lot of women in programs all over the metropolitan area. And I'm just glad to have been able to be a part of some of those wonderful, wonderful events. We have one more coming up on Wednesday. Betty Doremus, who many of you may know from having worked on many of the newspapers in the area, Free Press News. Betty Doremus is being honored on Wednesday at Wayne County Community College, Eastern Campus. And so we're excited to be able to attend that. On yesterday, we were just really pleased to be a part of the 45th anniversary celebration of Akibalon Village. Akibalon Village and the wonderful Marvis Cofield and his wife Gail have held down Akibalon Village over the last, can you believe it, 45 years. That's an awfully long time, 45 years to someone to have held down an organization that long on the east side, and it's still growing strong and getting stronger. So that was a wonderful, wonderful celebration yesterday at Akibalon Village over on Harper and Van Dyke. East side. Saw a lot of great people. They honored some wonderful people, and it was just good to be able to be a part of that entire celebration. We have a wonderful guest today. I hope she's been able to join us, Miss Barbara Patton. Barbara is the president of the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women's local Detroit chapter. And we're just happy to have her with us. Barbara, there you are. I'm so glad to see you.
Hi, I made it.
Wonderful, 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 Barbara. We're glad to have you with us on the Community Bell Show. This is your first appearance. I'm sure it won't be the last, but you've got all sorts of good information to share with us. But first of all, tell us about Barbara Patton and who Barbara Patton is.
Hey, I'm just your average girl, Edna. I've done a lot of different things. People may know me from New Detroit. They may know me from Wayne County. They may know me from where United Negro College Fund. I'm that girl that fills the hole whenever anyone is, looking for someone to do that.
And you've obviously done it very, very well. And of course, I know you from has it been almost 40 years? Oh my gosh, from Wayne County. It's been a long time, my, a long time. But also a very important part of what you do is the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women. Tell us about your club and which one you represent.
Okay, I am the original of Detroit, the Detroit Club. There are two in the city of Detroit. We are part of a national organization. That national organization was founded in 1935. Our club has been in existence since 1951. So we are celebrating 72 years.
Wow.
With our founders this April, actually next month. So it's been a long journey. I won't tell you, just like you were saying, how many years we've known each other.
Yes.
I have been in the club 40 plus years, which is, it's hard to believe.
Oh, it is. And I was a part of that club too, of the Detroit Club for a number of years, along with my daughters came up through that club and some of the young ladies in that club. And they're old people now. I call them old now. I told them they're getting old, not me.
That's what I keep reminding people. Do you realize we're the new old people? I mean, my God.
Isn't that incredible? Yes.
It's a little scary.
Yes. But what's the purpose of the club?
Well, we are an organization whose mission is to advocate, educate, cooperate with those who are like-minded. We do a number of programs. We promote and protect the interests of business women. We have 4 major areas that we serve in. leadership, which is training for businesses and professional organizations and women, entrepreneurship. So we're attempting to edify and nourish those who are going into an entrepreneurial service or business. Technology, Lord knows. The young people got it. It seems like they're coming out of the womb and they are very technologically savvy. However, we try to train folks to increase their skills in various forms of technology, and then service. So included in service is health, education, employment, and economic development. So we do community service in all of those areas. So it's a cadre of different things. And when you see our logo, it's a circle with hands that are around the globe. So it's the world in the hands of women. So we do some very fascinating things. Changes from year to year, but some of the things we have done year after year after year. Like I think something we will talk about in a little while that has withstood the test of time for 32 years.
Yes, yes. And the club, you would be amazed at how impactful the club has been. The club gives out scholarships to young people who are aspiring to go to college and further their education. The club just does all sorts of community activities, and the women in the club are women who work pretty much all day, full-time jobs, but still find time to give service back to the community through the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women. So it's just a special place. Anybody interested in volunteering to give back around a lot of just great women, this is a place to be. This is the place to be. Where do you meet and when do you meet?
Well, we meet once a month. Our group meets on the second Tuesday. Right now, we are meeting at 12 Mile and 9 Mile and Inkster Road, which is at the Arbor condominiums in their community room. Mm-hmm. However, I think next year we will be meeting at WC3, the East Campus.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. So wonderful. We don't have a lot of meetings, so that's the good news.
That's a good thing.
We do have committees that handle all of the programming that we do in those areas that I said before. I always tell people, we're looking for a few good women. We are looking for women who are interested in giving back to the community. While, I tell them this is not a social club. We like people who are really wanting to give back, but we have a good time. So it's not just work, but we have fun while we're doing what we do. So yeah, we're looking for a few good women. So if you are in a business or professional category or retired from either of those, then, give me a call. We'll be happy to have you. We just got somebody else back in our fold.
Yes.
Our hostess who took a little leave of absence, but she's back. And, Edna, when you talk about women who are very busy and have jobs, but you and I both know it's the busy women who get things done.
This is true. That's true. Yeah. Busy women get things done, and not only busy women, just women get things done.
That is true.
Women have always been in the backbone of most organizations in terms of getting things done, and so it's always a pleasure to be around other women who get things done. And do know that when we meet, we don't meet all day, gang.
Oh, no,
we get to the meeting, we have an agenda, we meet, and we're out of there.
That would be correct.
Yes.
I can say in that regard, though, I think about the time that when I came into this club, and I think about the skill level that I was at. Mm-hmm. But this club has really, really trained people how to be leaders, how to conduct meetings, how to put on events. How you organize, how you do all of those things. So if, you are a person who is looking to hone your skills on all of those things, come on, this is a great place to hone your skills while you are doing service.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is so important. And particularly for young women who are coming out and getting into the business world and or professional world. It's a great place to, number one, meet other women who have been there, done that, who can help you get to where you need to be. But the other piece is to help train you into how to hone your skills,
Yes.
to learn to run meetings, to learn
Yes.
Robert's Rules of Order, to learn how to handle committees. And so, all sorts of good things come from being in an organization such as this, not to mention just having fun and
Yes.
meeting and being around good people.
Yes.
So those are some really, really important skills that some people never learn, unfortunately. so it's just wonderful to be able to help other young people learn to do some of those. And the NANBPW, I know I said it fast. Let me say it again. NANBPW. It's shorter than saying National Association of Vision and Professional Women.
Listen, B&Ps. That's the Cliff Notes. B&Ps.
Yes, BNP. Yeah. So remember BNP and women. That's the best
Yeah.
part. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's truly the best part. But I met some wonderful women who've been a part of that, who've been a part of that organization over the years, and people that you still know. I mean,
Yes.
you still run into these women all the time, and they're still doing.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
have not stopped, and that's a great thing. Barbara, talk a little bit about what's coming up in April. While I run off for a moment, my connection is about to die, so I need to connect some more stuff.
Okay. Go get some juice.
You talk about what's coming up.
Okay. Well, we are coming up on our 32nd annual community baby shower. And like I said, 32 years. For 22 years, we did it at Hutzel Hospital. And for the last 10 years, we are at Henry Ford. So let me explain a little bit what that means, because normally when people hear community baby shower, they think it's a shower that is for expectant mothers. And that is not the case. It is a place where community groups, individuals bring gifts and leave them at the hospital. And so when they have patients who come in to deliver their patients, forgive my phone ringing, it would start ringing when I get on.
Of course.
Of course. So when patients come in to deliver their babies, if they have some need, then the social work department finds out what exactly is their need, and they will then go to the supplies that have been donated by the community and give them layettes, baby strollers. The main thing are car seats. That baby can't go home unless it's in a car seat. And if anyone has priced a car seat lately,
Oh yeah.
have mercy. So they're
Yes.
very expensive. So on our list, that's one of our priority items. But long and short, you organizations, we have a number of them, churches, sororities, all kinds of organizations that will come as a group, and they donate items. Again, this is 32 years. This year, it's being, again, for the 10th year in a row, it's being held at Henry Ford Hospital. Now, before COVID, we could go into the auditorium and people would, groups would come down, say who they were and present their gifts. And then we'd have a lovely baby fashion show. That's kind of like the highlight, watching these babies in these little outfits. They are, babies are always fun.
Yes.
So we'd have our baby fashion show, and then we'd go upstairs and eat great food. So, it was kind of like a reunion, because a lot of groups and individuals came year after year after year, and they may not have seen each other since that time. So we'd go and have a good time. And again, like you said, we don't meet all day. We don't do showers all day. It's not the typical let's play games or that kind of stuff. It's not that kind of shower. Men actually come, and men's groups actually come and donate and stay for the shower. So it's very, it's kind of a different kind of, quote, baby shower. But we have fun, and I would say over the last 32 years, we have probably raised, if not over, we've raised almost $1 million worth of resources that have gone back to people in need.
And that's the special part. And as you said, it really is a fun afternoon.
Yes.
It's a fun time to, as you say, see people you haven't seen in a long time, meet new people. And the best part is seeing all the gifts.
Oh,
we
yes.
ask people to bring them unwrapped.
Yes. Unwrapped gifts.
And it's just it's a fun time, and people are so generous and kind-hearted in terms of their giving. And there's some people plan every year and save up so that they can provide these items to these young people who sometimes just don't have the wherewithal.
They don't. And you don't have to think about the date. It doesn't change. It is always the first Thursday in April,
Mhm.
always at 5:30, and always now at Henry Ford. So
Exactly.
if you're kind of thinking, when, you don't have to think about when it is. And trust me, we've had, you know how April is. So we've had some sunny
Yes.
days. We've had some days when we've been out there in long johns and hats and coats and scarves. Since it's been drive-by for the last 4 years, it's a little bit
Hmm.
different.
Yeah.
When we have it in the auditorium, you pull up in valet parking. There's some folks to take your stuff out. You walk into the auditorium. You don't have to do anything. It's all done for you. You just have to come and have a seat. But we are prayerful that next year we will be completely out of this COVID caution, and we will be able to come back and commune again in the auditorium. But now it's drive-by. So you come in the main entrance. You head left for the pavilion entrance. You will see it. We've got balloons and all that good stuff up. It's hard not to see it. You drive by, you stay in your car. Our volunteers take your stuff out of your car. We give you a little treat and you're on your way.
Exactly. So real easy, everybody, this year. Just real easy. Drive up, pop your trunk, or open your back door.
Exactly.
And the volunteers will take the goodies out of your car for you and give you your little treat and say thank you and goodbye. You
And
don't
that's it.
it takes all of 3 minutes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
do know that your gift is going to a wonderful, wonderful set of people. The organization, as I say, has been doing this for 32 years. I can't believe it. I
I can't
remember when
either.
we were over at the Kresge Eye Institute when it started. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes.
Uh,
Juanita Wade and her group at Hutzel Hospital,
yes.
they just took us, they embraced us and took us in. It was wonderful.
Yes.
Now, I must say that the merger didn't help us very well. I mean, it was different, kind of different. Anytime you have mergers, you have new people in
Sure.
place.
Sure.
And so what we used to deal with the hospital guild, which were the doctors and the volunteers, I mean, doctors' wives and volunteers. And it was,
Yes.
they had
It
the
was
spirit.
different.
It was like BNP. They had the spirit of volunteerism, and they
Yes.
understood that.
Mm-hmm.
When you merge, sometimes that spirit is lost depending upon who is in charge. But you know what? Henry Ford has embraced us. They have been wonderful partners. Their staff and everyone they've just been fantastic. So, we couldn't have asked for more. Henry Ford they were great. So we've been there 10 years. It doesn't seem like 10 years.
No.
Our 22 years at Hutzel were great. And we are going to continue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just a joy. I can't wait to get back to the baby fashion show.
Oh, honey, I'm telling you, that was,
That was this was the best thing. That was the best thing.
they are just so cute. And everybody, it's like everybody would go, oh my goodness. And the models were actually babies who were born at the hospital. A
Yes.
lot of
That's
them
the
in
other
the
part.
NICU. Yeah. And so now you see these little babies who some of them weighed 3 pounds when they were born, and now you see them, they're thriving and, dancing across the stage, playing with the bubble machine. So
Yeah.
it's a hoot. It's a hoot.
Yes. Yes. It's just a joy and a delight to be able to watch those and the recipients. Some of the recipients of those would come back also.
Yeah.
And they, when they could, would donate
Yes.
because they appreciated so much what had been given to them in their time of need. And
Yes.
that was really, really special as they talked about what they received and how important it was at the time they received it. And so it just leaves a warm heart, a warm spirit as it all takes place. It's just
Yeah.
for anybody who's interested in donating to the community baby shower, what do they need to do? Is there a number they can call, or do they just need to show up, or what happens?
Well, they can just show up. They can show up. We start at 5:30 and we will go until 7. So just drive by the church or the church. I'm thinking of church groups. Well, it's just kind of like, it's almost like a religion here with us
That's
now
right.
for 32 years. But just drive by the hospital and you can drop it off. Or if you need more information, you can always call me on that. That probably was on the line, my home line. That's a lot of people are calling now to ask to, participate. So my home phone is 313-537-7146. And that's the
Okay.
same line that anyone interested in joining the group can call. I can give you more information about that as well.
Oh, that would be great. And again, if you want to join a group who really does what they say they do, because sometimes you find groups who say they do something and that isn't exactly what happens once you become a part of that group. So, in a group who does what they say they do and have been doing it for over 40 years, have a proven
71.
track record,
Yeah.
have a proven track record. So, this would be where you would want to set your volunteer hours. This is where you'd want to do it if that's what you're looking to do. Tell us some of the other programs that NANBPW is involved in.
Well, we just finished our women's history last week, and the concentration was women who tell their stories.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had Desiree Cooper, who is, Free Press, Monitor. I mean, she's done everything. She just finished a children's book who has
Mm-hmm.
won awards. So she was our speaker. But she was really, really excellent because she tied the family history, her history, and the history of Black folks into the importance of reading to your children. And as a matter of fact, she asked the audience to buy a book for their baby and buy one for the kids at the shower. And so we have donations for the shower babies to, start igniting their interest in reading books. So we have some books to give away to some young mothers as well.
That's
We just finished before that. We had something called Get Ready, Stay Ready, which was about emergency preparedness. So we had Craig Carnell, who I'm sure you know from the county.
Mhm.
He was the fire chief at the airport. And
Yes.
so he did the workshop and he talked about your go-to bag and where it should be and what should be in it. But then he discussed something about a go-home bag, which I never even thought about. So he says, so what if you're out somewhere and you're trying to get home and you're stuck? It might be, an accident or a snowstorm or you're in a ditch or, and I'm thinking, oh, I never thought about that. So he talked about a go-home bag, the things you should do to prepare your family and etc. So he was excellent. Craig, he's always
Oh,
good at what he does.
yes. Now
Um,
let's talk about this go home bag again because that's that's an interesting theory. What did he say we should have in that go home bag? Because I never thought about that.
well, things like, so if it's winter, you need hand warmers. If you're
Mm,
stuck in your car and can't move, you need something to eat. You always need water, whether you're going or coming.
mm-hmm.
Just all of those little things you need. If your phone, hopefully you have a charger that charges into your car so that if you lose power on your phone, that you can at least call somebody, whether it's for help or calling your family members to let them know where you are and if you're okay, et cetera, et cetera. I would have never thought. And so where do you keep your go home bag? So he said, in the car would be a good place and, blankets. Or he said, you might want to have two because it might be a case of you not being able to get to your car, but that something's happening at the job spot where you need to pick it up and evacuate from your office.
Wow.
Things that we don't ever think about, but I'm
No.
telling you, as things happen in the 21st century in this world, it's making us consider more of these things,
Oh,
unfortunately, more often,
yes. My goodness. Isn't that something? That I
sadly
do. I
enough.
always have I always have a blanket or two in the car. Always have. Usually have water, but didn't think about a couple of those other things. So I need to get another
Yeah.
charger to be the car charger that stays all the time,
And then he
and
talked
maybe get.
about flares,
Oh,
those flares that you shake or bend or whatever.
yeah.
So if you're somewhere where there's no electricity or the light is out, so how do you get from your office even out of the building?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow is right. I mean, it was quite fascinating. And it
Yes.
was really cute because he said, well, I'm preparing a to-go bag for each of my children.
Hmm.
He says, that's my gift to them so they will be ready
Wow.
if something happens. He said, because kids, they'll listen to you and they say, yeah, Dad, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
But
Sure,
even if
Dad.
they prepare, right, even if they prepare a bag, it may not have in it what they need because they've not considered it. It's just not something that's
Yes.
been in their thought. But I'm telling you, when he started pulling this stuff out of his bag, like he had a plastic rain cover, he had water, he had a water filter. He says, there's only so much water you can carry and it's heavy. He said, so he had this little filter that he had purchased where he could put it on top of this container. And while there would be water outside somewhere, or even in the spring or whatever, you could put it through this filter and it would be drinkable.
Wow.
And you always have a little money, but you don't
Yep.
do big bills. You do little bills because,
Hmm.
chances are people can't make change. I mean, it was fascinating.
And the ATM machines aren't going to be
They
working in
not
some cases. Think
working.
about when we had the power outage
Oh my
here,
God.
but
Yes.
20 years ago, probably,
Yes.
and you couldn't use an ATM card.
Well, I still don't let my car get on empty.
No, absolutely not. Don't let the car get on empty.
No, because the gas pumps, I mean, that was a scary time, which is why
Yeah.
you hear that landline still, because I won't give it up. I won't give it up until they just turn it off, because that was the only things that were working. Cell phones weren't
Exactly.
working. That was pretty spooky. And with everything that's going on with Russia, China, all these places, you don't know when that next grid is going down or what they're
You
going to
don't.
do.
You
And you've
really
just got to
don't.
be, you've got to be more than uber prepared.
Yes. Yes. And ATM cards won't do it. This
No.
cashless society they talking about going to not going to work. It's interesting. I was listening to some program, and one of the city council persons had gone to, I think it was the Plum Market downtown, to get lunch. And she went in and got her lunch, and she gave some cash to pay. They said, we don't accept cash.
Is
Isn't
that
that
crazy?
we joked about that a number of years ago.
No, that's
But
crazy.
it's come to fruition. Many places won't accept cash. But the sad part about that is there's a whole society, particularly in Detroit, who only deals in cash. They don't do credit cards. They don't have bank accounts. They don't have any. They can't write you a check. They don't have any kind of cards. They only deal in cash. So you're just keeping a whole group of people out of doing many, many things because you won't accept cash. I thought that was incredible. And even at places like, I think it was a Little Caesars Arena and someplace else, maybe the ballpark, they don't accept cash, only credit cards. Then they have an ATM machine there. To go to the ATM machine to get this card that they charge you for when you go to the ATM machine, so that you can pay for the items. I think that's ludicrous.
I think it's horrible, but it's almost like redlining,
Yes.
because it is strategically eliminating a group of people who don't have access to that, and
Yes.
on either end, either socioeconomically or age-wise,
Yes.
because you have a lot of older people who they might have a smartphone, but they don't know what to do with it
But
other
I
than talk.
don't exactly. And the best I can do is use his phone and sometimes his laptop. You catch me on a bad day, and I might have to call one of my grandkids and say, "Okay, come over here and figure this out."
The youngest person in the room can answer the
That's right.
question,
I'm telling you.
but it
But
is really scary.
mhm.
It's similar to the mothers who come into the hospital to have their babies. A lot of them, they might have been working, but COVID, they don't have a job anymore. So there's no
Yeah.
insurance, there's no
Hmm.
income. The circumstances of life have just changed immensely. And it has caused greater hardship for some folks than other
Yes.
folks.
Yes.
This is kind of a circular thing, but when you start talking about cash, and kids don't know what checks are, but they don't teach cursive anymore. So if they had a check, they
Isn't
couldn't
that
sign it.
amazing?
I
That
think that is.
they don't even have to sign their name anymore because they don't know how to read cursive. Not only can't they write it, they can't read it.
Listen, I handed my little neighbor, we were making cookies. And so I'm thinking this is a learning moment. So we're going to double this recipe, figure out how much these fractions are doubled. I handed her the card and she said, "Miss BJ, I can't read this." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She says, I can't read that writing. I said, oh my God. So I said, well, you will be able to in a month because I'm going to teach you cursive writing. So I started teaching her cursive writing. But I think the way we are, and I don't know another term for it, dumbing down our students at this point is really a travesty. I think it's just a travesty. They can't read the Declaration of Independence. How about that?
Because it's written in cursive.
Hello.
Yes, exactly. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. It really is. But there's so much that we need to go back to. Because everything that was old, it wasn't bad. There were some good things that happened that we need to try and hold on to for our children, our grandchildren's sake.
But then we want to be very, very critical about where jobs are going and why people don't look like us who are getting them.
Yes.
So they're talking about people from, other countries who are coming in and but you know what? Other countries are very, very serious about their education and overteach their children. So guess what? They're prepared. And I can't be mad at it.
No, that's what everyone ought to be doing. That's what everyone ought to be doing, is to super prepare them, if there is such a term.
Exactly.
Make them so prepared that there's nothing that they can't read, do, say,
calculate.
All of that.
Yeah.
All of that.
And, they don't know timetables or anything because all you have to do is ask Siri.
That's right. Oh, yeah, I know that's something. And when Siri isn't working, then what?
Well, you know what?
When the system goes down, as it did over the last few weeks, and all the power is gone and your batteries are gone, then what? There you are. Siri won't help you there because you can't get to her.
No, they're going to be looking for us, Edna, because they cannot strategically think because they've not been trained. Their minds haven't been trained to do that. You don't have critical thinking skills because you've never been forced to develop them. And that to me is most scary.
Yes.
There is no plan B for them because they only know plan A, which is Siri or something on the computer.
Yes.
That's scary.
Very, very scary. Very, very scary.
I am prayerful I don't end up in a nursing home, but if someone who is very young has to give me a medication or an injection, I hope my mind is still clear.
They can read the
that they can calculate that, and my mind is clear enough to say, let me see that before you stick it in me.
Yes.
Really, it's scary.
It really, really is. It really is. But the good news is we still have time to help them out, and we're going to do that.
We do.
We are going to do that. We are going to do that. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Barbara Patton, for coming on the show today. Thank you for sharing with us all of the wonderful things that NANBPW is doing, particularly the baby shower, everyone. The baby shower, everyone. The baby shower, everyone.
April 2nd, 5:30.
April 7th.
No. Let me rewind. I'm giving you the wrong date. April 6th.
April 6th.
Thursday, April 6th, 5:30, Henry Ford Hospital.
Thursday, April 5:30, Henry Ford Hospital. And everyone, don't think that you don't have a lot of money to give. A bag of diapers would be wonderful.
Exactly.
We accept whatever you can give, whatever you want to give to us. So diapers are really, really important.
Yeah.
So if you bring us a bag of diapers, we'll be just as happy as we can to get it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Barbara. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Audience, thank you for being with us this afternoon. We'll see you next Monday on the Community Bell Show. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandy Rose.
Hi, I'm Pastor William James, and we're the owners of WVTC Gospel Radio Network.
And I'm Ramon Perry, president of WVTC.
WVTC Gospel Radio Network is again a candidate for the Stellar Gospel Music Awards for Internet Radio Station of the Year, and we need your vote.
Go to www.thestellarawards.com and click on the 2023 Radio Station Awards ballot.
Once you're on the ballot, look for the category Internet Radio Station of the Year and cast your vote for WVTC Gospel Radio Network.
Voting is limited to 2 per household, and voting closes on April 10th. We thank you for voting for WVTC Gospel Radio Network, and we ask that God's choicest blessings be upon you and your household.
Remember, we're WBTC Gospel Radio Network, where
We're winning victory
through Christ.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit.
We are WVTC Detroit. What it is, we're gospel music, preaching, teaching, inspiration, encouragement, news, and guest interviews. We are WVTC. We're winning victories through Christ. WVTC Detroit. All up in the community. That's who we are. What it is.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.